For people who care about ROI, VOIs, these are the metrics that can be cited, and we have been collecting data and talking about that. So what do you get for it? And what we have been doing, bootstrapped and unfunded, is utilizing our modalities to collect data so that we can show that it's actually making a difference here. Now, I'm not a laboratory. We don't run a lab and give you results which were good for, it's a good paper. But we are really interested in hitting grassroots kind of projects and people and helping them. Since everybody talks about AI, we said, listen, let's get this clear. What is AI talking about nowadays in terms of approach to light for health and wellness? So we went through Google Gemini, Copilot, Perplexity AI, Pi AI, OpenAI, Playground, and another one called Grok, which is a new one, to see what they're talking about. And there were 5 points that kept coming up again and again, which are fairly regular points. So what can we actually be doing which is beyond what AI? All of you are familiar with how AI came about, with the whole thing about Common Crawl. Is basically it goes through all of the engines and finds the data, retrieves the data, and then kind of combines it. You put guardrails so it doesn't hallucinate. For us, it was beyond the science. It was the art of the experience, and how can you impact them on that level. Multisensory integration, that's LCS, contextualizing it to the context, and harnessing the latent frequencies of light, utilizing this as a new paradigm, and humanizing it so that we are talking about the human being first. There's a whole lot of work out there which is talking about human-centric lighting. It's mostly contained to circadian. And the hidden potential of light for wellness, we have these 6 points. And how can you actually utilize it to promote neuroplasticity, stress responses, align with natural rhythms? So this becomes kind of a roadmap for us when we go into implementing them on projects. Then we took that further and we looked at what Well Standards, DDC, New York, Fit City, New York, and others were doing, but turned it into a lighting protocol so that we can actually impact all of this on the lighting front. So talking about health and wellness, sustainability, resilience, and equity in the areas that we are working on right now. And then it comes to the point of what's in it for you and why would you actually get into it? You can see that the circadian stimulus part is the tip of the iceberg. More than the past decade talking about circadian stimulus, circadian light, etc. But it's really the tip of the iceberg. If any of you are working in the global south, you would notice that nobody really cares about circadian light. They really care about everything else, which is connected to how much are you spending on it? How are you going to help me make more money? In general, a non-continuous spectrum is not good for you. That's a known fact. Did we not have flicker when we had halogens? Of course we did, because we were chopping the wave and it was going zzz, filamenting and doing other things. The flicker in general plays in a bad way with your cellular composition because your cells are vibrating. The doctors talk about this at a certain frequency. And you coming in, why daylight works is because it's giving you no flicker. It's good for healing. Go by the ocean, get some negative ions, or get the sunlight, and you feel better. That's been around for centuries. Under LEDs, you don't have that as much. But I can't qualify the whole LED world as saying that none of them are making good products. But flicker is an issue, and what frequency they vibrate at. The inexpensive fixtures are obviously doing more harm than the ones that have actually thought about this and spent some money in taking it out or reducing. We're big fans for not putting pole tops, but actually working with moonlights. We've been able to do that here also on 108th Street in Manhattan and Millbrook Terraces in the Bronx, where we are able to put lights up on the roof, let the light collect on the ground plane, and it's vandal proof, but it also has the directionality of the moonlight so that it's much more gentle.